Okay, happy Monday, everyone. Good evening. It is Monday, February 23rd, 2026. It is 6 p.m., and it is our regular meeting. Madam Secretary, can you call us to order? I'm sorry, not call us to order. Roll call.
Laster,
Present.
Kamal,
Here.
Jackson,
Here.
Rogers is present, Piles,
Excused.
Kennard,
Excused.
and Davis.
Excused. Can we stand for the pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we are now at the acceptance of the agenda. Be it resolved that the Board of Education accepts the February 23rd, 2026 meeting agenda as presented.
Support.
It's been motioned by Laster, supported by Rogers. Any discussion? Roll call.
Laster,
Yes.
Rogers is yes, Jackson. Yes. Kamal,
Yes.
motion is approved.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Public comment?
None.
Seeing none, moving forward, we are at the presentation portion. We have a presentation from Dr. Shammy and Dr. Johnson on a mentoring program for Romulus Middle School.
Good evening. I'm sorry, he is almost here. He was stuck on at Wayne Road after the accident, so he's been driving for an hour and a half. But he's close on Shook Road, I think he just said. So he's on his way here. But thank you. Thank you. And I'm going to let him talk you through the program itself. But I'm going to introduce him before he walks in and walks straight up here to talk with you. Dr. Johnson is the author of the book A Walk in Their Kicks. It's a book about Black male literacy. He's the leader of Archetype Consulting. He was once my deputy superintendent. I've actually had an opportunity to see him turn around an entire high school. He was the person who turned around Harrison High School in Farmington Hills. One of the most amazing educators that I've had the opportunity to work with. He's going to talk you through the mentoring, but the mentoring program is hopefully going to focus on our eighth graders, the eighth graders that are intending to go to our high school. And so it'll be part of our middle school program, and I'll let him kind of talk you through the selection process for how kids become a part of that. But it's focused really on literacy. Everything will be centered around books and content that directly ties to literacy as well. So it goes a little bit more than just mentoring. He's walking in. I think I just saw him cross the parking lot. But it goes a little bit beyond mentoring. The trips, the things that they do with kids are amazing. I've never been able to be a part of it, like on the inside, but I've seen the results, like the reporting and heard from children who have experienced the different programs that he does. He's just finishing up with our comprehensive needs assessment right now. He met with our central office staff last week and is going to be finishing up some of the work that he's doing for our comprehensive needs assessment. And in a minute, I'm going to introduce you to Dr. Aaron Johnson, who is walking in right now. And his presentation is ready to go. He incorporated all of the questions that you had into the presentation. So he will be, but cut him off when you need to, because it's like asking me for research, but 10 times worse. So there could be a lot in there. He really got into the research piece of it, Mr. Jackson. Without further ado, I will introduce you to Dr. Aaron Johnson. Here's your clicker. Do I need this? You can, yeah, use that one. And here's your clicker. Or you want me to click for you?
Sure. Everyone, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Apologize for my tardiness. I ran into traffic on 275 and Wayne Road was completely cut off, so sorry about that.
Get yourself together.
No, let me come down some.
Take your time. We're good.
Okay, all right. I was worried about being here on time and thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I think I'm ready. All right.
Oh, thank you.
Go on, girl.
Thank you very much, appreciate it. I'm going to take you through, I forwarded a list of answers to questions that I could. Sometimes we are asking students to participate in new ways and to engage in new ways, but really a lot of what happens after there's some student engagement is that students are left to kind of wonder what's next. And so the ultimate goal is to empower them to develop skills beyond our time together. And so we are going to, and some of the work that I've been doing already with this district has been professional learning on culturally responsive schools, professional learning on reimagining schools, and then engaging in a comprehensive needs analysis throughout the district. So I started with this quote by Frederick Douglass that it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. And that's essentially what Participation to Power is doing. We're trying to build strong children before having to come later on in life to kind of repair some of the damage that often happens to children outside of school and sometimes in school. We're doing that through literacy, academic achievement, communication, helping them build communication skills, helping them build empathy, and then engaging them in identity affirming activities. So effective mentoring has been shown to, as you can see the highlighted points there, promote academic achievement, and increase school attendance, and improve high school graduation rates. Students have said that they would like to improve many of these things that are bolded here, and will help them work on critical thinking skills and basic functioning skills, and helping them connect to schools in different ways. One of the most important parts of this is helping them build strong leadership skills, and you'll see on the next slide that students who engage in strong mentoring programs, they're like 55% or more likely to enroll in college, and 130% are more likely to hold leadership positions sometime in their lives. So that could be whether they go on to college or in their roles in work or wherever they choose to go after high school. But students, it's key that they are being prepared to hold leadership skills or to hold leadership positions in other areas of their lives. So in 2018, I conducted a study, and when I walked in, I heard Dr. Shami say something about me being very nerdy with data and being very nerdy with research, and I'll try to limit that as much as possible. 2018, I conducted a study where I engaged with teachers and asked them what was the best way, or what are the best ways that they engage with their students. And this was specifically around African American males, but I think that can be extrapolated to any student that we might engage with. And one of the quotes that came out of that was that healthy relationship, particularly between teachers or adults and African American students in the school, they need those healthy relationships to make those connections to the school, to the teacher, to the content, and we will continue as a profession to struggle if we do not make those opportunities available to them. So the program consists of two parts. One will be an academic and social mentoring program that happens during the school day. We'll use two books to lift up the following themes, and these are two books that we are considering. I'm Still Here by Austin Channing Brown. And when we identify the students that will participate in this program, we'll split the boys and the girls up because there'll be one person that will address the young ladies and issues that are specific to young ladies, and then I will facilitate the group of young men using this book by Ta-Nehisi Coates, Between the World and Me. Some of the themes that will be lifted up are positive racial identity, importance of family, lineage, and heritage, body positivity, and building a firm literacy and education foundation. And so you'll see some of the program goals here. The ones I'd like to just really quickly touch upon are engaging students in activities that encourages positive student-to-student interactions. I've heard over and over from educators in several different districts that after COVID, students have been struggling to socialize in some of the same ways that they socialized pre-COVID. And so this program, one of the goals is to help them to just continue to build those interactions, those positive interactions with their peers. One of the other goals is to research, design, and implement humanizing pedagogies according to student voice. Some of the conversations that have come out of the student interviews is that no one asks them anything. No one asks them what they think. No one asks them, how to improve school based on what they would like to see. And so the program will continue to do that. And then the last thing is I'd like to highlight, is to expose students to cultural institutions, museums, and post-secondary learning institutions to broaden their experiences and perspective. And so there are a few tentative off-campus trips that we would like to take them on, a few museums, the Charles H. Wright, the DIA, the Henry Ford, or Greenfield Village, and possibly maybe take them on like a fun trip to bowling or something like that to sort of cap off the experience. Diversity. And so when we've done this before, Michigan State is excited to doing spring and summer event planning for students. They would stay, and we would be there for 2.5 days. They would eat students the opportunity to bond into cohort groups, promote that time, May 29th through May 31st with Michigan State. We just needed to get that on the books before that time was taken up by another group. Oh, and one thing I missed about that Michigan State student conference. Again, we'll talk about positive communication protocols. We'll work on building empathy, building community, and we'll have speakers that will come speak to them that come from various walks of life. These are some of the sample activities for the whole program, the during the day program and the Michigan State off-campus program. I won't bore you by reading every one of those different things, but these are some of the things that we would engage in during our time together. So I included this. This came out of the study that I conducted with teachers about how to connect students to school environments, and this is a lot of stuff on one slide, but I want to focus on culture and socialization. That the research points toward helping students to not only understand their own cultures, but understand how to acclimate to the culture of the school and socialize in ways that promote student achievement, that promote positive interactions with their peers and with their teachers is one of the things that helps get students to the point that we want to get them to, and that's to develop literacy skills, which is a core skill to engage in and that they will engage in throughout their lives. And there's a reason why I showed you that particular slide. If you move to the next one. Out of that came these teacher dispositions, and if I may for a moment just scratch teacher out and include adult dispositions. These are the things that adults would help to engage students by changing their mindsets around how students should be connected to school environments. And the one I'm going to focus on among those is the teacher's recognition and the importance and relationship to, and at the bottom of that you'll see three emerging sort of subdomains. Students have to feel a connection to the teacher or an adult in the school. They have to feel a connection to the school environment itself, and they have to feel a connection to the text. And so that's the reason why we engage students in reading two different texts, because that is often a way to hook them into having some of these more mature conversations. So that's a little bit of a synopsis on each one of those texts that we would take the students through. Dr. Shami, I think you can fast forward through. So these are just a few of the pictures. I had a video, and I'm so glad I didn't put it in here because I know I'm limited to 15 minutes, but these are some of the just to show you a little bit about some of the different engagements that this program has taken students through. So Michigan State will send a bus to, I know there was a conversation about transportation. Michigan State will send a bus to wherever we tell them to come pick the students up, take them to the campus, and then bring them back to where they were picked up. So the other, this photo right here is just a picture of students engaging in one of the communication protocols. The picture to the bottom left and to the top right are, so Junior Achievement has a financial literacy park. And so what came out of one of the conversations, or a few of the conversations that we had with students, was they wanted to learn some things about financial literacy. And so Junior Achievement takes students through a protocol where they help them, they give them a salary, they help them pick a job, and then they have to go to different stations to rent a house, buy a car, get their DTE turned on, go to the grocery store. And so they learn how to budget their money, how to, some students are given a family, and so they have to learn how to, buy, diapers and formula for kids and, that sort of thing. And so it's a really engaging program that Junior Achievement takes them through. You see in that bottom right corner, I don't know why I didn't have pictures of the students, so I did a lesson with students on etiquette. And I didn't want to assume that students had been to a restaurant before and that they knew how to, eat with a fork and spoon in a proper, place setting. So we went through a lesson on how to do that, how to use a napkin, how to use a knife and a fork and those types of things. And they really appreciated being able to eat food that wasn't in the cafeteria, but also talk with their peers and be in a fun setting. And I don't have every student there, but this is a picture of the students that, one group of students that I took to the DIA. And it was amazing seeing students engage in these really in-depth conversations about art. And, it's typically for a lot of Black students, they don't have the opportunity to go to these cultural institutions and engage in these conversations that are off-site, but that would be conversations that they could have within their classrooms and schools. Any questions you might have? I know I kind of went through that very quickly. Oh, okay, great, thank you.
All right, so we'll start with me. I don't know what the board has. I brought this up to Dr. Shami, Dr. Johnson, and I said, when I look at the time period, it says January to, was it May, maybe? And I said to Dr. Shammy, I can't do 4 months. I said it needs to be longer. It has to be longer if we're going to make a deep impact. So I'd like to see if you're willing to extend the time frame on this. And I don't know what that looks like, but I think we should have that conversation, or me and you can have that conversation, or the board asks me, doesn't matter who, but we need to have that conversation because I'm looking for long-lasting. It's got to be long-lasting. There's got to be relationships. 2-3 months not going to do it. It's just not going to do it. I looked at I would imagine Michigan State, I don't know if that's, you have to do that date, and that's fine. That doesn't matter to me, but I'm like, I need long time. I need cohorts so that kids can see other kids and have time to be able to form some kind of bond. And I need a bond that's not 2 to 3 months. It's got to be longer. I said to Dr. Shammy, we need to be going into 27 with this. I said, if to me we're going to get a long-lasting result, I wanted to know, and this is kind of putting you on the spot, but this isn't your first board meeting because you've done plenty of them. So you know how this goes. So I wanted to see that if you would be more than willing to extend, not necessarily extend the monies, but extend the time period so that we have some rich dialogue. One, I wanted to see cohorts. I need kids to see what other kids are doing. Like, I want kids to feel like they're missing out too. Like, man, you got to go where and how long? And how do you know this dude? He's where is he? We see this guy. We thought he was Dr. E. No, that's not me. But I want to see something like that. I'd like to see, and again, this is just my suggestion. I can't tell you how to do your program. I wouldn't dare tell you how to do your program. Are you the only mentor, or are there mentors? Do you have other people, or is it just you?
Yeah, I'm not the only mentor, and so right now it's me and another young lady who will split up the boys and the girls. Like I said, we'll have some separate sessions, and then we'll have some joint sessions. So I'm answering the second question first. But I bring people on and I engage people as the space and the time permit. And so if the group grows larger, then I think we initially proposed about 60 students just to start off with. If the group grows larger than that, then I would surely bring on.
I'm good. No, I mean, I don't have any problem with that. If you're the only mentor, let's just say you get sick.
Yes.
Who's coming in? That's just some things that would be my suggestion. Again, I'm not going to sit here and disregard or disrespect your work, your research, and how you do business. But I would like to see, if at all possible, that you expose kids to other people, because my story is different than yours. Your story is different than mine, but we have something to offer. Mr. Jackson's here, story is different than mine. And so that kids have tangible folks that they can ask kind of questions to for. Selection process, next. What are your thoughts on that? How would you select 60 kids?
I've thought a little bit about that, and again, I don't know all of
Yeah,
the.
I can certainly help. I'm not going to do it, but I can certainly help. You getting paid, so.
I'm not exactly sure what's all of the parameters that you would have around students that would be selected, but I would like to focus on 8th graders just as they are about to start transitioning into high school, to have that be a jump-off point for them to, when they go to high school, it's a whole different environment, and that's typically a time where students get disconnected from school. The other thing, so as far as what you were talking about, as far as mentors are concerned, or other people that would be engaged with them, I would love to see some of the engage some of the upperclassmen in being student mentors, or being engaged with them on that level, so that they could, pass down whatever knowledge they developed during the course of being in high school. There was a question about extending it, for sure.
Good answer. That's it.
For sure.
That's a good answer. Something that I would encourage, again, not going to tell you how to do your program. And I mean that. When I say that, I mean it. I wouldn't do 8th grade. I wouldn't do 8th grade because maybe they go to a different school. Maybe they're saying, I'm out of here. Personally, and you might not like the age group, I would do 6. For me as a superintendent, I want 6th grade so I can retain the kids. I want them to come back next year. I want them to say, man, we want more, or that, you know, we need you again because it was so good that kids know when I get into sixth grade, I'm going to have this program. Not eighth grade, because we have a couple of months. They're like, I'm out. I'm going somewhere else. We're not going here. And then 60 becomes 25.
Absolutely.
Just to consider. It doesn't mean that you have to do that. And I will say, when you and I are together, I'd say it's iron sharpens iron. When we're together, this isn't. I've known you for years.
Yeah.
Iron sharpens iron. You're brilliant. I'm not. You are, and that's cool. But I like the fact that we can talk about these things, and I could say to you, hey, maybe you should think about sixth grade, because sixth grade, even though they're less mature, but now we got them for 2-3 years. And that they will believe in us enough to say, I'm going to high school because I trust this guy, and they have a program in it. But eighth grade scares me, because I get it from a maturity standpoint, but I worry from my standpoint that, man, okay, so they do 2 months and they're like, we're out. I don't want, that's a waste for me. I need the kids to stay in Romulus, be in Romulus, produce in Romulus, achieve in Romulus, educated in Romulus. That's what I need. So I just want you to think about it. I'm not telling you what to do.
Yeah, I'm actually open to that. The reason, and there was no scientific method for picking eighth grade, other than trying to convince them that this program is so worthwhile that they would get, similar programming at the high school, and that they would stay and then matriculate to the high school.
Okay, so my sell job is to the fifth grade parent, mine, the fifth grade parent, on why you should go to the middle school, because the fifth grade parent is thinking about leaving. Fifth grade parent is thinking about leaving and not going to the sixth grade. Eighth grade, they probably made up their mind in the last 3 years whether or not they're going to stick with Romulus or they're out. Sixth grade, we have a shot to say we're doing something good. Next thing I know, it says black males, but I would say this. We already know. If there's a student that's not black and wants to get in, let them in, because I want them to know about black culture, black people, black culture, and there's something to be learned. I know that's not an issue, but I know there'd be an issue with people who have not heard, don't say, all they're doing is reading and saying, what about the non-black kids? That's always going to be an issue. Absolutely. Not an issue for me. Y'all want to come in? That's fine. Come on in. But understand what you're learning is primarily for the benefit of all of us, but specifically black boys or black girls. But anybody is welcome to come in. Absolutely. And then also, for anybody at this board table or anywhere else, when 80% of your population looks like me or are black, then I have no problem saying who it's geared for, because we have 80%. And then, if anybody wanted to say it, why do we have 80% and not 50%? Okay, so something's going on. So that's why we're going to focus on this population of people.
I have never turned down a student.
I know.
What they-
You're brilliant, man. You're brilliant. I already know.
You can look at some of the, and I didn't put a whole lot of pictures, I have so many pictures, but you can look at some of the, these pictures, they're not, all of those students are not black students. So, but we talked about issues that were related to being black in America, being black in.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's it for now. I mean, if the board moves on, then we can have further conversation. I'd want you to be in front of teachers. They need to hear about this and understand why we're doing what we're doing. Pull the data out and say, this is why we're doing what we're doing. This will be the selection process, and they need to get on board too. And then getting in front of teachers and staff and parents to let them know the importance of the work that we're doing, and that we are absolutely trying to keep our families enrolled in Romulus. We've got to do something different to keep our families in Romulus. And then they need to believe in the work that we're doing. So thank you, Dr. Shammy. Thank you, too. That's it for me for questions.
Do you mind if I add one more thing to that point? Is that okay, or would you like to add?
Absolutely.
You made mention of teachers. This is not absent of engaging with teachers, because this doesn't work just by the students alone.
We already know it's not going to work if you don't get the teacher support.
So this, you'll see in other scopes that teachers should be engaged as well in this work, and that's to help to change teachers' mindsets. And I don't want to assume that for any period of time that teachers don't have the correct mindset, but to work with students in a way that affirms them, that helps bring them to the type of consciousness that they need in order to be successful post-high school, no matter where they go. Teachers have to be engaged.
Okay, so the board wasn't there to hear this, but you were there, or Dr. Shammy heard me say it. I said the paradigm shift in this district will be staff first, not students first, staff first, because you got to get staff to believe why they're doing what they're doing. Everybody wants to say students first. Not if staff don't believe it, that's not going to work. So these things are important to me, that staff first before you try to engage students. Don't waste your time doing that right now. Got to get the staff to understand the importance, put data in front of them. This is the data in which our students, I don't know what the word, whatever, finish the phrase, but this is our data, and this is why we do what we do. But it's got to be staff first, and everything you do has got to be staff first before we throw our students out there. We need to explain to the staff why we're doing this, and they need to understand the importance of what we're doing.
Did any other board members have any questions before I ask mine? Go ahead.
I just would like to know, when you did it before, what did you use as a selection process?
So the schools typically will select the students and send them to me. Much of the time, it's students who they have seen that need some sort of connection to an adult. So it's not based on students' grades. It's not based on. Sometimes it's based on behavior, but I would prefer that it's not based on behavior, for the simple fact I don't want students to believe that it's some sort of punishment. This is more like an engagement. It's more like a reward as far as I'm concerned. And so in the past, I have relied on the administration to select the students and send them to me. I'll take any student that, you know, if we choose to go that route, I'll take any student that is sent to me. But it would be advantageous, I believe, to work together to come up with a selection criteria process.
And then my final question, what type of feedback have you received from the students?
I've received feedback, anything from what Dr. Edmondson just spoke about. Why are you specifically focusing on Black students, or issues that affect Black students, where I wouldn't say all of them, but most of the districts that I've done this in have been districts with large populations of Black students. I've heard teachers talk about not recognizing the students' attitude and behavior when they come back, because students are focused. They've made a connection not only with the adults who come to the conference or the adults who do the mentoring, but also anytime we engage in a text, students don't often get a chance to, in schools, and it's not just Romulus, students don't often engage in a text that shows them, that features them, features who they are, features some of the things that they may be going through. And so I've had feedback from teachers that speak about students wanting to read more or wanting to engage in book studies and those types of things. So the feedback has been mostly positive. Like I said, there have been some folks who may not like, when I'm unapologetic about making sure that we are focusing on the issues that affect Black children in public schools.
Well, you kind of asked my questions, but I feel like, yes, the staff is going to be critical to you finding and identifying the students that are going to benefit, because they know the students that obviously body imaging, the stuff that you talked about, they see it. So when you did your walkthrough, have the teachers had any chance to digest any of this yet? Like what we've seen, or like if this potentially comes, like, do you have students that would be good for this program? Has that occurred yet, or?
For sure.
Okay.
I've just through the interviews that I've had with students, they've lifted up some of the things that this program is meant to address. And so, a lot of them talk about just their identity in school, not relating to the school environment, wishing. I walked into one, I don't want to identify the teacher, but I walked into one classroom and they were reading a book, and the students were happy because they saw themselves in the book. I've heard students talk about not having a voice, not feeling like they had a voice. Some students talk about not feeling like they're learning, that there being this dichotomy within the schools. And so many of the things that the the mentoring program and the student conference program is meant to address students. It comes out, and it's not different from, I worked with students all across the country, and the themes are common among students, particularly students of color, and even more particularly among Black students, that they don't see themselves in the content. They, even when they feel like their teachers are well-meaning, they don't understand the issues that they might have being a Black student, the issues that they might face, with other things that are impacting their lives. And so I think it helps, if I can just be frank, I think it helps seeing a Black man and a Black woman that would be engaging them in some of these conversations, because we could talk to them in different ways that many of their teachers might not be able to talk to them in.
I agree, and I also think I attended a program when I was in school. It was called King Chavez Parks, and I remember because we went to Eastern Michigan. We got to stay in the dorms, and like even if you don't go off to college, like you still were able to experience that type of thing, and I remember it to this day. So I feel like that's good for our students to be able to go to Michigan State. Mentoring is needed. I mean, I'm not going to speak for the board or say like this is just a go, but I do appreciate you bringing this to us and showing us what you've done and what you plan to do, because I see it daily. Like kids, they need somebody in the school, a program coming in to talk about how you handle different things, from just taking care of yourself with hygiene. That's a basic thing. Like, and you would think kids are getting that at home, and they are not. So thank you for your presentation.
And for the when we go off to Michigan State, we put together hygiene kits for them, because we don't want to assume that students have those things to bring.
Yeah.
So soap, deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, and we make sure they use it too.
Right, and how to use the things, because, yeah, you would think, but
Yes.
yes. Any other questions, or? Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, the books.
The consent agenda. Be it resolved that the Board of Education approves the February 23rd, 2026 consent agenda as presented. Matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine in nature by the Board of Education and will be acted upon by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items. If any member of the board or any citizen requests discussion of an item, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will become the first item of business under the report of the superintendent portion. A, approval of the minutes for the Board of Education, February 9th, 2026, regular meeting, February 9th, 2026, closed session, and February 12th, 2026, special meeting.
Sorry, Madam Secretary. It's been motioned by Rogers.
Any support?
Support. Hold on. Go ahead, Jackson. Got you. It's been motioned by Rogers, supported by Jackson. Any discussion? Roll call.
Rogers is yes. Jackson?
Yes.
Kamal?
Yes.
Laster?
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you. Sorry, I had to tell Dr. Urbanson to talk about something in his update, because I'm getting up there too with the age. So, thank you. So now we are at the point of the presentation where Dr. Edmondson gives his district update. Thank you.
This is always my favorite part of the board meetings, just so that everybody knows. It's my favorite part. Speaking of age, you just said we're getting on up there, right? Ask Trustee Jackson what Dr. E did to him. Let's see here, Exhibit A. I hit him first. We both ran up to the line. We can pull up the footage. We both ran up to the line. I got my shot off before him, and I hit him first. And I remember saying, because he hit me afterwards, mine hit his first. I said, I got you first. Then he's on the ground. I look at him.
Oh, I think did he throw his ball
Yeah,
first?
see, there I am. See, he's still trying to get his. Look at my long arms. I got mine. Look at him now. Yeah, but that was a different one. So first of all, I will say that I did to the board. It was a wonderful event. We talked a little bit about what we could do. Today, we talked about what we could do next year to make it even better, a little bit more organized. But I was just glad that everybody had a good time. I mean, kids had a good time. There was a good showing. Staff had a good time, good showing. Parents had a good time, good showing. Board of Education was there, good showing. And, you ready? Who made that halftime shot? Who made that halftime shot? Who was the only one when I was with the board, right? I was with the board, and I made the shot from half court, mind you, half court. I just had to show that. I still got it. I still got it.
He had to do that because he started off as a trader on the other side. Then he came to us because he knows who butters his bread. And then he made the halftime shot. Is that how it went?
Well, I want
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it because our numbers weren't so hot there. So I went over there and I said, this is my chance to be able to light up a board member. That's what I was thinking. It's my chance to light them up. So that's why I went on the other side. Then it was so bad, your showing was so bad, I had to get over there and say, let me help them out. And you saw when I got on there, and we already know. I got legendary status, and it was great to see.
But the vendors, the way they were coming at us was kind of crazy. So the next time the vendors stand in front of us, I'm going to remember, like, oh, you was trying to hit me with a ball.
Seriously, listen, this was great. And I want to thank the cabinet. And I really want to say, first of all, thank you to cabinet, but Jason Perkins in particular. He gets all of our vendors. He works with them. He knows a lot of them. He's brought good people to our district who support us. He lets them know when they come in, and it's not any pay to play. We don't do that. But he's very compelling, and he's a nice guy. And I was talking to the board, not to the board, I was talking to the cabinet today, and I said, I had a chance to go to MSBO with him, Michigan School, what is it, Business School Board officials. But, he's well respected. And that's not to say everybody is not. He is. And he has helped make each one of these events gets better, and we make more money. And you got to give people their flowers when they do some great stuff. That's not to say the other folks aren't doing that. It's just saying he does an excellent job, and he is able to allow me to be the person that's out there and know that we have vendors that support. So to all the vendors, too, I'm going to send them something, too. But great event to the staff, great event for our school district, wonderful. Let me transition a little bit. Talk about Merriman. We have three properties, Merriman, Mount Pleasant, and Olive Street. I believe I said Olive Street. We were contacted a couple weeks ago, and I did not sign the contract. And I was thinking about that today when I was looking at all the contracts. But I did tell the realtor, I think it was $395,000. The asking price might be $405 or $400. They were like $395. I'm like, fine. I can share with you what they wanted to do with it if I did not say. It was low-cost housing, and now I hear it's workforce housing. Slight difference in that workforce housing are smaller units, about 1,100 square feet, and to my knowledge, not subsidized. Low income is subsidized. So I don't know, but I will say this to the board. Just like the mayor is dealing with it now, you can't choose how somebody's going to use the building. That's discrimination. If I say, oh, you're going to use it to do what? And then we decide to say, oh, no, we can't do that. So he's experiencing that now. His is eminent domain, a little bit different than ours. But if they have something that we don't like, that's not my issue. We're trying to sell the building. So I need you to know that that's what's going on with Olive Street. One of the things I do have to check on that contract because we keep getting jammed up, and this is for the board to know. Our buildings are zoned for schools. So when you go sell it, the buyer has got to be affiliated with a school. So what does that mean? It means a charter school, or you're not going to get another public school to come through. It's not going to happen. So you have that kind of issue. Now, that one is a little bit, that's where I say no. You can call me discriminating. You can do whatever, call me whatever. I'm not doing it. So if the city doesn't rezone, then it has to be used for the school. And that's kind of what we're running into. I will not sign a contract that is contingent upon them getting zoning. I just can't do that. It jams us up every single time because the city won't do it. So I've been asked on March 9th, now that's Olive Street. I already told you what they're using it for. March 9th, I was asked to go to the city council meeting. That's the same day as our meeting, obviously. So if I leave here, they asked me the company asked me to be there for support because they want to buy Merriman and for $400,000. I think you already know that. But the city has asked them to pave the street, That's $1 million cost. Help me understand. So I buy a building for $400,000, then you want me to put a street for $1 million. And it's never been paved. I said the same thing. It's never been paved. You gonna ask him to pave it? Wow. So I don't want to get into all that kind of discussion, but they're asking the city to rezone it. And the city's like, well, to rezone it, we need the street. So, and that's not pay to play. It's just so it's a problem. I don't know how they're going to rezone. I hope, and I'm going there. Let me just remember that I'm on camera now. So I'm going to try to be supportive and go there and see. And if there's any way that you can talk to city council members about, when we talk about One Romulus, that means One Romulus, doesn't it? That means that we need help too, accomplishing our goals the same way as the city wants to accomplish their goals. So I'm hoping that that one happens. Okay, that's been pushed off. We keep pushing off because they can't get an answer. They can't get a firm answer. City needs to make their decision and roll on from there. Whatever it is, just make your decision and let's go on. Last one, Mount Pleasant. I've been,
Sorry.
that's okay. I've been talking to Mark Graham with Jason as well. That property, the building is dilapidated. You go in there, it's ridiculous. So we're trying to see if we can get a grant to be able to knock it down, demolish it. And I think if you demolish it, then it looks a little different. Maybe you don't have to rezone it for a school. You'd still have to get permission, but I think it probably looks a little bit more promising when the edifice is gone or the building itself is gone. So those are the three properties that we have. And if you ever have any questions, let me know. But things should be moving fast. Olive Street, I think they wanted to close by, I want to say it's May. And I don't know the city part. I didn't get involved in that. That's not what I do. But the company has asked me to come, the ones at Merriman, and they want to make that into, I believe it's a storage unit. I think they wanted to put storage in there. So those are the three properties that we're looking at. Next, I need you to know that this Thursday we go into our first negotiation session with the REA. And we are negotiating 3 contracts this year, but the first one is always the teachers. You always do the teachers because it's pretty much do the teachers and everybody else kind of falls in place. So we'll be doing that with our lead negotiator is Kevin Brock and not me. I'm there, but I defer to his expertise, but I also have my own opinion about things and what I think we should do and what is fair and right, and they have their team too. So we'll be doing that. I believe Kevin gave us some dates. I have not written them down for me to share them with you yet, but that's going to happen. And as a board, you should know, particularly if you're new as a board member, when these things go on, and I would say this, it doesn't matter who's sitting there, people start calling you, people start emailing you, wanting to know where do you sit, and people start talking about their own self-interest. It's natural. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying it's natural. If you have a relationship with somebody or if you don't, you got to start gearing up because that's what's going to start happening. If things go bad, it gets worse and it gets ramped up, and then you'll start seeing people show up to board meetings when that happens. But just understand, we do have a good relationship with the UniServe director as well as the president, and Jessie Reyes is there. She's on the board. We work really hard to problem solve our way to have good relationships. We've been doing that since I've been here. So we have good relationships, but understand we're still talking about this contract year. And nobody wants to go into, self-included, nobody wants to go into a new year without a contract. It's the most unsettling feeling when you go through that, and then you start getting mad about things. So just understand that's coming. And if you're new, you can take the calls, no problem. But understand, when people call you, why they're calling you, because they want to get their interest to you. Understandable. I don't have anything else unless if you have any questions that I can answer. Oh, Trustee Kamal, you asked me a question about, what's the name of her program? Ignite and Inspire, Karina Coleman, Keith Institute. So, and you had asked me about mentoring. One thing that I can say about that is that I'll be sending out an email to all of our vendors and contractors, and I'm going to let them know that everything is going to be reviewed this year because we're going into a teacher's contract year. So I want to make sure that everything looks right and I get the outcomes that I want. So her company and others are going to get something from me because we're reviewing everything. Some may stay, some don't. When we were talking about Dr. Johnson, I needed to let you know that his cost and even the Keith Institute, that doesn't come from general fund. That comes from a different pot of money. That's like grants, things that we have to spend that we have to spend for students. So that's a different pot of money. Whereas negotiating teachers' contracts, that's your general fund. That's where most of the money in your general fund comes anyway. So you're talking about a different pot of money, but I will absolutely keep you informed on what's going on with that, because that was a great question, okay? Because we don't want 2 and 3 vendors all doing the same thing. So that was it. Thank you for that. And last but not least, 15,000 going out. Probably get them tomorrow. Probably not. You won't receive them tomorrow. They'll go to the post office tomorrow. Post office tomorrow. They actually came in, 15,000 of them. So they're going out to everybody. It's some good information about what we're doing as a school district. It's time to let people know what we're doing, because we don't do a great job telling our own story. So that's coming out. And I think I shared this before, but if I didn't, again, Flight and Friends coming out for our little shorties. So when the little kids are here, okay, first of all, it's literacy. So we want our parents, if any parents are looking, read the story every single day. It's a coloring book, but read the story every single day. And then you skip a page. Because when you skip a page, if kids hear it over and over and over, they're going to recognize that you skipped a page. And that's a part of literacy. Okay, we have some phonemic awareness and other things, so that when kids know that you skipped, or know, they're going to be able to say that. And then we're going to feel really good about what we're doing here. But this is Flight and Friends. Mike Ellison's work, this is one of his works, with this on the back. We'll have them in here. We're not sending these out to families, but they will be here. They will probably be at other schools too. So if we have a board meeting and little kids are here, we'll want them to color. That was supposed to be last, but I'll say, Mr. Jackson, it was a pleasure meeting your daughter. She's very well-spoken, very, very mannerly. So you and your wife, kudos to you, doing a great job. And I mean that. I want to say it. If I see it, I'm going to say it. So kudos to you and your wife. Thank you, board.
Thank you, Dr. Edmondson. We are now at the report of the Director of Teaching, Learning, and Professional Development, Dr. Shammy. She has an action item, which is RMS and RHS band field trip. I'll skip Kevin. I definitely skipped Kevin. Wow. Let me go back. I'm so sorry. No, that's not. Rewind. So we are now at the report of the Executive Director of Administration and Human Resources, Mr. Kevin Brock. He has an action item on additional compensation.
Guess I need to read that, huh?
Yeah.
To the board. Additional compensation. Well, once we read it, then there'll be questions, and you'll have, then you come up, okay?
I'm used to you being on the second page.
Recommended motion. Whereas the Board of Education recognizes the value of advanced workforce planning and the importance of timely retirement notifications for operational, instructional, and budgetary planning purposes, and whereas certified staff members who qualify for retirement under the Michigan Public School Employment Retirement System, MISPERS, as administrator of the Office of the Retirement Services, are eligible to retire in accordance with state law and applicable retirement regulations, and whereas early notification of retirement intent allows the district to responsibly plan for staffing assignments, recruitment efforts, and financial projections in a manner consistent with the board's fiduciary obligations and stewardship of public funds. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby approves the establishment of a one-time retirement notification stipend in the amount of $7,000 for certified staff members who meet all eligibility and notification requirements established by the district. And be it further resolved that to qualify for the stipend, the certified staff member must, 1, be eligible for retirement under MISPERS as confirmed by the Retirement of Services. 2, provide written notice of intent to retire within the timeline established by the district. 3, complete the school year in good standing unless otherwise approved by the superintendent. And 4, to satisfy all additional eligibility conditions communicated by the district consistent with this resolution. Be it further resolved that payment of the stipend shall be contingent upon verification of retirement eligibility and compliance with all district requirements. And be it further resolved that the superintendent or designee is authorized to implement and administer this retirement notification stipend program in accordance with this resolution, applicable collective bargaining agreement, district policy, and Michigan law. Rationale: this resolution supports responsible workforce planning and fiscal stewardship by encouraging timely retirement notifications from eligible certified staff. Early notice allows the district to plan for staffing transitions, initiate recruitment efforts, maintain program continuity, and develop accurate budget projections in alignment with its fiduciary obligations. The one-time stipend serves as a cost-effective incentive that promotes organizational stability while supporting long-term operational and financial planning. Budget implications is general fund, and exhibits is the letter of certified staff.
Any support? Been motion by Rogers, supported by Jackson. Any discussion? Roll call. Oh, you can sit down. I was like,
Say a few things, but,
okay,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
all right, just so you guys have some awareness. So good evening.
Good evening.
How's everybody doing? Good. This is on. The letter that you have as an exhibit was only a draft copy, so that wasn't presented, and it wasn't presented to anybody in public because the dates may change. So that's why the resolution does not have a date in terms of when they submit their resignation. So the letter is just a draft for you to see what it will look like when it does go out. Dates could change in that letter. Second thing, I wanted to give you a quick update on negotiations. We have our first one, as Dr. Edmondson has said, this Thursday. My plan is hopefully at the next meeting, we can do a closed session where I can talk and have some dialogue with you in closed session regarding sort of what our plan looks like. We met today in cabinet. I'm having our new interim director of finance work up some scenarios for us for financial scenarios so that I can have some information to give you all when we go into closed session, just so you have that update. But other than that, I just wanted to mention the letter is a draft copy. That's why it's not dated in the resolution. And then also an update on negotiations. Questions for me? Good. Now I can sit down. Thanks.
Okay. Rogers is yes. Jackson? Kamal?
Yes.
And Laster.
Yes,
Motion is approved.
thank you.
Thank you, board. Thank
Flip
you.
the page.
Thank you, thank you.
We are now back to the RMS and RHS band field trip. Can someone read that action item?
Thank you.
Director of TLP, date February 23rd. Rationale encompasses educational enrichment, social, emotional development, and program growth. These trips provide opportunities for team building and exposure to different cultural contexts that cannot be replicated in the classroom. Budget implications covered by band boosters.
Support.
Been motion by Jackson, supported by Rogers. Any discussion?
Yeah, for me, so,
I got something.
oh, you go first.
No, so the date, I just wanted to know, how close is that to like our prime and everything like that? Because we're seniors, be able to attend still.
So we have Miss Race that's up here, if she'd like to.
It's a couple weeks before that event, and what our goal was is that I have a proposed payment plan, so that will hopefully not interfere with them. I mean, prom tickets, I believe, went off. The goal is financially for them not to conflict, and date-wise, they're not.
There was a question from a board member that asked, who was paying for the band field trip? The form reads, Band Boosters is a source of funding, but there's an attached fee schedule with 3 payment dates. Ms. Reyes did respond. I mean, you're here. Do you want to,
Sure, I'm happy to elaborate. So
if you could just
Can you
come to
come
the
to the
mic
mic?
and then.
Yeah, remember.
Ooh, that's tall, and I am not tall. So these trips that we've been doing the last couple of years are optional for students. The goal is for this to not cost the district any money or the band boosters any money. The band boosters, as you know, have been working on raising money for marching band uniforms for the past several years. That is still their goal. The band booster account is there because it's just easier for me to run payments in and out of the band booster account because there's a band booster credit card. So because we have access to Venmo and things like that, it's convenience for parents to be able to make these payments. So it is, the cost to students is $160 for a full participant that's participating in the clinic at Bowling Green and also going to Cedar Point with us as well. There are students that have season-long Cedar Point passes, and so that discount is rolled in for those students as well. So if they do have a Cedar Point season pass, they're just paying for their bus and the clinic at Bowling Green, and also they will receive dinner at Cedar Point and a drink wristband for all-day drinks at Cedar Point as well. So that is $120, which is an initial $50 deposit and then 2 payments of $35. So it is optional to students. It's not required. I did do a survey back in October, and I had 57 students expressed interest, and about 12 parents as well expressed interest. Thankfully, a lot of our students are have been working to save up money for this since I introduced it to them. So I have many who are prepared to make this $50 deposit as soon as it is approved.
Roll call.
So, no, I just want to make sure, I was looking at the rationale. So when the board wants to do a retreat, we can go to Cedar Point for social-emotional development and educational enrichment. I just want to make sure that I can justify it when I present it to you. Team building. No, there's no blame. There's no blame. We knew it was you. You were just preparing us for the next board retreat. Team building and exposure to different cultural contexts that cannot be replicated in the classrooms. Just want you to know.
I appreciate you. I will say too, we used to perform at Cedar Point, and that's what we did 2 years ago. But the hall that we performed in was so tight with the number of kids that we had there that they were looking for a bigger performance venue. And the gentleman that directs this is Ken Thompson out of Bowling Green University. So he said, why don't we just, since Bowling Green's kind of on the way, why don't we stop, play at the university, offer your high school students a tour, since that may be something that they wouldn't get, and then still give them their, their reward, which is their Cedar Point at the end of it. So.
And if you go, don't get hurt. I'm just saying.
Roll call. Thank you, Ms. Reyes.
Thank you.
Jackson. Rogers is yes. Kamal
Yes.
and Laster.
Yes.
Motion is approved.
Thank you. We are now at the report of board subcommittees. Okay.
So for Trustee Kamal, we need to get together in March so that we can start getting ready for the strategic planning committee. Just me and you talk. We can schedule it through, if you're all right with Ms. Camilleri, we can schedule that so that we can get a plan on how we want to have our first meeting.
Okay.
Check our dates and things, okay?
Okay. Well, I enjoyed dodgeball. I didn't.
You were there?
Yes, I was there. Next year I'm gonna work. Like, I think the balls were like not working with me. Like, I couldn't get it across. The other team was always hogging the balls. It was just a lot going on, but definitely had fun. Enjoyed the kids. I'm so sorry that Antoine. I saw him and then he texted and said he was at the urgent care. So, oh my gosh. So I'm so glad that you're healed. I'm healing. No, healing. Yep. I'm excited for March. I'm starting to get emails about reading at the schools, so that's always fun to do. So I'm excited and thankful for the people that reach out and, want you to come read to the kids. And I just wanted to touch on, I know across yonder they are dealing with protests and they have a meeting. I did moderate for the mayor's event. I was asked Monday night of last week because Ellen Bragg had a death in the family. They reached out. I let the board know what I was doing. Somehow in the community, it was twisted as it was Portia Laster's meeting. It was not. I was just moderating for the mayor, and I just literally asked questions. But I just wanted that to be clear, and I did post the flyer for the event to share so community members could come out, and then I posted a picture and how the event went. So just kind of got a little misconstrued, I think, out there, but it was not my event. But I am also open to speaking about it because I think that going back, I would like to see something between the city and the school board on one stage where everybody can come ask their questions, because being at that meeting, 6 questions were asked about the school board. And I'm thinking, like, if I wasn't there or like Trustee Kamal came, like, so many of these things happen where people ask questions about the school board at city functions and they're not here. I'm happy to answer the questions, but I do feel like it was just kind of like, well, that's why I asked about ICE, and I also asked about Merriman, and because I want the community to know, but I also want the right information to be getting out there. So it's just to be visible and present and be ready to answer the questions, but also, like, I guess it comes with the territory where somebody will see something and take it and run with it, and bad news always travels faster. But I just wanted to say, in this platform, I was stepping in to moderate for Ellen Bragg, for the mayor, to ask the questions regarding what the community wanted to know, and it was not my event, but I was there to just support, and I was there as a community member asking the questions myself. So that's me, and I thank the board for supporting. I reached out, nobody said don't do it. So thank you guys for your support. And Dr. Edmondson, no, he told, never mind. No, Dr. Edmondson, he's just like a dad sometimes, so he just like, yeah, I don't know if you should do that. And I love a good tell me don't do something, I'm gonna do it. I guess the frontal lobe is still like developing sometimes. So yeah, but anyway, all is well. Thank you for the people that came out and had questions about the school. And I hope that we answered the ICE questions in the Merriman and Mount Pleasant, because those are like hot topics that people want to know about too. So that's all that I have. Anything from, you're welcome. Trustee Kamal, Madam Secretary in your green. You want to talk about how you were the last one standing?
It was fun. That was the first time I played dodgeball in many blue moons. But it was fun. And to be the last one standing, I held it down for us. But it was fun. Hey, watch it.
You were in the what group? What was the group?
I was in the 50 and over group. Yes, I
You
was.
was the
I was
last
in the
one
mature
standing.
group. I was the last one standing. Yes. Yes, I did. So feel proud, But no, it was fun. I'm glad we raised the funds for our high schoolers. I'm just looking forward to moving on for our district and seeing some more fun stuff.
Thank you. Trustee Jackson.
That event was, it really, like, I couldn't believe it. Like, when I put it in the parking lot, I was like, this looked like an old basketball game. Like, that's the first thing I thought, like, who we playing, River Rouge in 96? Like, it looked like that, and I was happy to see, like, the schools had their signs and all of that. I'm happy we got a chance to raise money for 2028. That just sounds so crazy to me every time I say it. But more importantly, with you moderating with the mayor, I feel like that's the bridge that we need to say, okay, you see how that moderation went? Like, we need to come together and do something, because really is no reason people should be asking school board questions at city events other than that they're uninformed with who does what. So if we can get together on stage at the high school or something like that, that has to happen sooner than later, especially for us to get our what we do across. This is a great starting point. Hopefully people will read it and then some of the questions should be coming from here that they ask us. Also, that was great. I thought the presentation for the mentorship was great, but I'm with you. That has to be our selling point for 6th grade, especially if we know that people leave before they get to the middle school. 8th grade is too late. We wanted 6th grade so they could talk about it, and more people who come in the 6th grade can know about it. So that's actually I was gonna say that. Is this possible that we start earlier? By 8th grade, you know where you're going, you know what you're gonna do, and you don't even understand the need for mentorship, right? We get to them earlier. They on the phone in 5th grade too. But we get to them earlier, so 6th grade is something I would be on board with, basically. Other than that, I'm excited to see the direction that we can still push this forward. I feel like that event was it was overwhelming, in a good way. If we can show up like this every time, then what our goal is for this community schools to be is right on track. So.
Thank you, Trustee Jackson. Dr. Edmondson?
Yes, I sent out an email to everyone it's feeling really good after the dodgeball game, but it's a survey on parent perception, student belonging, and things like that. It only takes 10 minutes. Send out, if you have Facebook, send it out. We want, that my attitude is if you can come out for dodgeball, then you can easily fill that survey out, because it's very important to us to know how we're doing and how we can improve. So I'll be sending that out 1 or 2 more times by the 27th. That's when it's due. So we need that to go out. Also, whether I'm in this seat or not, I would hope that as a board you understand that your superintendent is your greatest asset to you. It really is. And my thought is you get what you pay for. It's amazing how when I'm around here, people want to say, he gets paid more than the mayor. First of all, they don't understand schools. Different jurisdiction, totally different jurisdiction. So why are you even saying that? And I just need people to know that you get what you pay for. And I feel good that I am very well compensated by this board. And I thank you for that. But I think equally that I give a whole lot to the community. Maybe not as much as people think I should. I don't know. But I think I do. So when I get a question like, well, what happens if ICE comes in? There are things that I know, that I understand. It's my role. I get it. I was I wasn't amazed, but it's disappointing to see the anger, the hatred when, our students protested, and then you see the vitriol and the anger with students being able to express their freedom of speech. Constitutional right. Okay. So a school district, your rights don't stop at the school door. Your rights do not stop at the school door. The only way that we could have really said no is if it's going to be a huge disruption to the school or somebody's going to get hurt, something like that. That wasn't. It was peaceful. Peaceful. People have a problem when it doesn't meet their ideologies and then they want to say something about what we did. That's what you do as a superintendent. You follow the law. I want kids to be able to be critical thinkers. You don't have to align with me at all, but you have the right to disagree with me and how you do it. And so I'm very proud of the students at the high school for coming on out and making their voice known, and they did that. Also, when I get a question like, well, what happens if ICE comes in? You have to know the law, Plyer versus Doe. Okay, and I will read it just for everybody because I don't have it memorized. I know what it is, the premise is, but it's all children, this is 1982, the Supreme Court said, quote, all children, regardless of immigration status, have a constitutional right to a free public education from kindergarten to 10th grade. What does that mean? That means that the government can't come in and snatch it. That's what it says. They can't do it. Okay, now, if they do it, then there's things that I'm going to do. I'll sue them because I can. And we can, because you have snatched somebody's constitutional rights. I can't do that no matter what I want to do. I can't take your constitutional rights. And as the superintendent, you should expect that response from me. And again, you get what you pay for. I'm going to address that to say, you can't do that. So that's why I was not worried about ICE coming in. I'm not. And if it is, I made sure that I put that email. And I thank you so much for giving that to me, because for me, it was like, I just said to you, can't do it. They can't do it. But I realize that people need to hear that from me and see it. They can't do it because this is the reason why they can't do it. And if it happens, then these are the steps. I realized that I didn't put that out to staff. I didn't say. That's why I sent it to everybody, because I didn't say it. And I know some people are thinking that. Employees, what happens if? This is what happens. Call me. I'll be there so quick, and I don't have a problem doing what I need to do. I'm paid to do that. I'm going to do that. But I just want you to know, in me, I'm going to follow the law. I'm not going to put us in a situation where, well, I don't even want to say get sued. This is part of the job. You get sued. So don't feel badly when you do, as a school district, don't feel badly that you get sued. I've been in several districts. People sue. They think it's an easy way. It isn't. It's not that easy to sue and win. Okay. So these things happen, and as much as possible, I will give you information, and sometimes I just forget. You had asked me that a couple weeks ago. I said, not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I can tell you it's not going to happen. But in the event that it does, I thank you for that I was able to put that email out to our staff so they understand this is what happens. We should have conversations with kids. There's information that we ask for on our MyStar that asks for your immigration status. Is that something we really want to put out there? I mean, I know not everybody has access to it, but so these are some things, and I think that we should have these conversations. If you have questions for me, shoot them to me. Specifically something like that, I'm going to put it out, okay? So again, greatest asset, superintendent. Make sure that you're getting your money's worth. Whoever it is, get your money's worth.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Support. All in favor?
Aye, at 7:20. Thank you.
Is it off, Adam?